Donald Trump's reported preference for dealing with Delcy Rodríguez rather than María Corina Machado has triggered intense debate among political observers, especially those watching U.S.-Venezuela relations closely. While the decision has not been framed as a formal endorsement, analysts argue it reflects a strategic calculation rather than a personal or ideological choice. Trump's foreign policy style has historically favored power brokers who control institutions and resources, even when they are controversial figures on the global stage. Delcy Rodríguez, as a central figure within Venezuela's ruling structure, represents continuity and direct access to state mechanisms. From Washington's perspective, engaging with someone embedded in executive authority offers clearer negotiation channels on sanctions, oil policy, and regional stability. Trump's approach has often prioritized leverage in transactional outcomes over symbolic support for opposition movements. This makes Rodríguez, despite her international criticism, a more predictable counterpart in high-stakes bargaining. In contrast, María Corina Machado symbolizes moral opposition, democratic resistance, and grassroots mobilization. While she commands strong domestic and international sympathy, she lacks direct control over state institutions. For Trump, whose diplomacy has leaned toward immediate results, backing an opposition leader without enforcement power may appear risky and ineffective. His past decisions show skepticism toward long-term political transformations that do not guarantee swift returns. Another key factor is energy politics. Venezuela's vast oil reserves remain strategically important, particularly during periods of global energy uncertainty. Any potential easing or tightening of sanctions requires engagement with officials who can actually implement agreements. Rodríguez's position places her at the center of such discussions, while Machado's influence is largely political rather than administrative. This reality shapes pragmatic decision-making in Washington. Trump's broader worldview also plays a role. He has often framed international politics as a contest between strong actors rather than ideological camps. In that framework, dealing with a powerful insider aligns with his preference for dominance-based negotiation. Supporting opposition figures may appeal to values-based diplomacy, but Trump has rarely placed that approach at the center of his strategy. Critics argue that choosing engagement with Rodríguez risks legitimizing an entrenched system and undermining democratic aspirations in Venezuela. Supporters counter that ignoring power realities leads to diplomatic stalemates. The choice reflects a deeper debate within U.S. foreign policy between principle and pragmatism, a tension that has defined Trump's global posture. Observers also note that Trump's messaging to domestic audiences matters. By emphasizing deal-making over ideology, he reinforces his image as a negotiator willing to talk to anyone if U.S. interests are served. This narrative resonates with supporters who value strength and outcomes. At the same time, it fuels criticism from human rights advocates who fear compromise may weaken democratic pressure internationally. Its consequences will influence diplomacy narratives for years.